Good evening, everyone. Welcome to Two Grown Men, a channel hosted by two friends. My name is Olawunmi. I also go by the Good Doctor. With me is my friend and brother.
My name is Yemi, and I also go by Niger Man's Perspective.
We're called Two Grown Men. It's a play on the fact that we actually are two middle-aged grown men.
Yep.
And we're groaning under the pressures of being responsible men. Well, responsible. We leave that to our families to judge.
Absolutely.
But we'd like to think that we're two grown, responsible men dealing with those responsibilities, those pressures.
And there are a lot of pressures. At this age, but without actually revealing our ages, which is not the point of this conversation. It should be obvious to you people. But where has the time gone?
So I don't know. I feel like last week I was doing jam. Just last week. I was doing WAEC and jam. I was listening to Tupac, Biggie, and I was, in fact, no, not Tupac and Biggie, it was Snoop Dogg. It was Doggy Style last week. It was new album, it was there, Snoop Doggy Dogg World. It was, and now I have children who are old enough to ask intelligent questions. Where did the time go?
I don't know. It just seems like you take life day by day, and it piles up.
It does.
Yeah, it piles up. It piles up, and yeah, you just keep on growing every single day.
Groaning.
But do you feel middle-aged though?
It depends on where you're asking.
Okay.
If you're asking my brain, I'm still a child. In my head, I'm still a child. If you're asking my body. So you know that Michael Jackson song, The Man in the Mirror?
Yep.
So when I look in the mirror, some mornings I don't recognize the guy I see in the mirror. That guy is old. He's got wrinkles, he's got gray hair. So if you ask my body, when I go to the bathroom, when I move around, the fact that I can no longer run a marathon, yes, my body feels middle-aged. But my spirit, my head, my mind, the guy in my head is still a child. That guy wrote jam last week. He's still waiting for his results.
Exactly. I feel the same way. The body and the mind, or the body and the spirit, like you said, they're not cooperating. But everything that has a negative has a positive, because
True.
it now comes with experiences. Because you read all these things, like this NBA stuff. I think it was Kobe Bryant or somebody that said, if I could write a letter to my 20-year-old self. Now we are
Buy
that
Google.
age now.
Like buy Google.
Exactly. If you bought this stock for $1,000 in 2010, look at how much you'll be worth now. And then you think about what you spent $1,000 on in 2010, and you're like, why didn't I think about that?
So I remember the Google IPO.
Yeah.
Joshua and I were talking about it.
Yeah.
We talked about it. Yeah, we should buy this Google IPO. Buy this Google IPO. We never did. Well, we're two broke students. We're two broke graduate students at the time.
But you knew it was going to be a
It
hit.
was going to be big. Wow. And we just didn't, look. I don't know. We spoke about it. Joshu, we spoke about it. We said, let's buy this thing.
Yeah.
Joshu in particular was like, this thing makes sense. This Google shares make sense. I think I spent some money on
Something else.
or something.
I mean, it comes with experiences. You learn. You get faced with so many difficulties. Because we're now where our parents were in the 90s when Abacha was alive.
Those years.
Right?
Yep.
And I'm segueing into that because we remember then, these people don't get it. Now our children are thinking, you guys don't get it. I mean,
my kids say
hello, Mbasoro, who are you speaking to?
My kids say to me
That I don't get it. And it's worse now, guys. Guys, listen, it's worse now because we can't hide under the umbrella of
respect me.
Respect me. That child has Google. If that child asks you a question, and if you don't want to answer, the child can go to Google.
Yeah.
If you lie to the child about the answer, the child can go to Google.
Yep.
And
if you get the answer wrong, that's even worse.
The child can come and correct you and say, okay,
Baba, you're wrong.
Daddy, you got it wrong, and this is what the real answer is. But I think, you know, being a middle-aged man now, I think we have an opportunity to get closer to, and we are closer to our children somewhat, to how we were raised. I'd like to think so in this generation with people. I mean, for those who want to be closer, of course. I'm not generalizing here.
It's always a choice. It's always a choice. It's always a choice. Interesting. So, Yemi, I'm going to ask you. You have a unique perspective on Nigeria. Yemi's on holiday here, but Yemi has a
working holiday.
Working holiday. But Yemi has a unique perspective. Yemi left Nigeria as a teenager. Came back as a grown man, and moved back again. So he's lived in Nigeria as a young man. He's lived in Nigeria as a child. He's lived in Nigeria as a grown-ass man, and is now visiting Nigeria. You've also lived in the UK as a young man, as a young adolescent, and as a grown man, and now you're living in the UK as a middle-aged man. What's your experience? What's your takeaway when you come back? What strikes you first? Because you've come back a couple of times in the last couple of years. What strikes you first?
On this particular trip,
yes,
what gripped me was poverty. Yeah, poverty. There's a lot of poverty in the land. There's a lot of poverty in the land. It wakes you up and probably is going to say night to you before you sleep, in whatever capacity, whether it's your gen failing you. I mean, we've always had fuel scarcity, right? And we're still just trying to get out of fuel scarcity at the moment. But then the sheer number of people that are asking you for money, and you know that some of these people are not doing it because that's their natural proclivity, or they are doing it because they like to do it. They're actually in need.
Desperate.
Yeah, they're actually desperate. It's the situation of the economy. It's just all of those things together. So that actually gripped me. But you see, I want to share a story on a particular experience that I had just a couple of days ago, and why it's not good to have sweeping generalizations on any topic particularly. So I was in an Uber a few days back, and so I was going from one location to another location, and then I got to my destination B, slept, woke up in the morning, was about to go out. Where's my wallet? I checked for it everywhere. I couldn't find my wallet. So I called my friend. So I'd left my friend's place, and I called him. I said, check my luggage to see if my wallet is there. So he checked, said it wasn't there. So I now traced it back to when was the last time I physically saw the wallet. So I traced it back to destination, to the first point with A in this story, and I remember exactly where I saw it. And then it could only have been the Uber, but then I wasn't sure whether it was in the Uber. It could have dropped as I was getting out of the Uber. A number of things could have happened. So I went on the Uber app and I reported it. That there's a possibility that I left it there. So I reported it. They tried to hook me up with the Uber driver. That didn't, he couldn't connect. Said he would call me back. A few hours later, the guy called me back. And guess what? He found my wallet. He found my wallet. And he didn't only find my wallet, but he reported it to Uber before I did.
Wow.
So I was like, thank God, because there's a lot of memories inside that wallet, and
data, credit cards,
data, just
ID
different things. I was like, thank God. So where I use, like, he's trying to complete rides. I said, okay, no wahala. Wherever you are, I'll be at so location. So I kept in touch with him. And this man now calls maybe about 3-4 hours after the first phone call. I told him where I was. He came and he gave me the wallet, and every single thing was intact. There was foreign exchange there. There were cards. There were memories in terms of pictures. My driving license. I counted the money.
Just complete.
It was complete. Nothing was missing. And it struck me that even in the midst, and tying it to what I said earlier, even in the midst of the poverty that I said that first struck me when I got back,
there was still some integrity
and honesty.
Forgive me for being cynical, Yemi. Do you think he returned your wallet because of the Uber app and accountability?
Nope.
Why do you think so?
It's a choice. Now, because one, Uber cannot prove
Fair enough.
that he took the wallet.
Fair enough.
Number two, I cannot prove
That you left it in the car.
that I left the wallet in the car. Number three, Uber cannot prove that another passenger
Didn't take it.
didn't take it. So when you're going to 3-4 scenarios for one particular thing, you have to leave room for doubt.
Yeah.
So while your point is valid, we have to look at it that it's not the only point.
Yeah.
So yes, there's a part that, oh, you may have thought I stole this thing, but the truth is, if you had taken that wallet, nothing would have happened.
Nothing.
Because it's not like I had a camera in the cab. In the Uber, I left. I had it on my phone, checking, and then I saw him. Because even me, I wasn't sure.
True.
So, and that's just one example, and there were still some other examples that I've seen on this trip with people being honest and people showing kindness, and it just struck me that, if we're in a much better financial position in this country, you will see. Now, of course, there are horror stories, etc., here and there, and I'm not saying that my story is trumping those, because those still exist from time to time. But that was one of the things that struck out for me in this particular trip.
Fair enough. Seeing the poverty, my heart bleeds. And I pray that I never get desensitized to it. When you're in your car and you look out there, these kids, these urchins, just begging you for money, whatever it is. It's painful that in a land of so much potential, so much wealth, the wealth gap is huge. And you never know just how blessed you are. God help us.